All right. We will call the regular meeting of October 17th, 2023 to order. Will you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Douglas?
Here.
Ms. Hayes? Mr. Horvath? Mrs. Sensi?
Here.
And Mr. Thompson?
Here.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mrs. Sensi?
Yes.
And Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of September 20th, 2023?
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
And Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Is there anyone wishing to give a board member report this evening?
No.
Right, reports and recommendations of the treasurer.
Thank you, Mr. Douglas. First, I just wanted to, just remind the voters about issue 3 that will be on the ballot November 7th. It's our permanent improvement levy renewal. And that will be on the ballot again, as we've discussed in other meetings. It collects very little amount of money.
And I'm gonna go through it in my report.
Okay,
so,
sure.
With the factual information that
Okay.
we've developed.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, and so my next item is to recommend the approval of the financial statements for September 2023.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
and Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Motion passes. Next up, I would like to recommend the approval of the below then and now certificates. And some of these were dating back, that could have been on a previous board meeting that didn't make it onto this one. These aren't all purchase orders that occurred during this month.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
and Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Motion passes. Next, I would like to recommend the approval of the following donations. A generous donation of $50 in school supplies from Andover Bank to South Elementary School to be used as needed. And a generous donation of 2 rolls of carpet from Rake's Carpet to Madison Middle School Drama Club to be used for performances.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Just always remind everybody how generous the community is. Thank you so much. I don't think we ever have a meeting where something isn't donated.
no, and we have a lot of donations that I think will go on next agenda, as there were a lot of in-kind donations for the fall play at the high school.
So thank you.
Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
and Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Motion passes. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Reports of the administrative team?
Okay, well, we have lots of good things going on, so I'll give a quick update on all the good things. We do have a playoff game for football on Friday, October 27th. The location and team is still to be determined, because this game's Friday night that will determine where people fall for the playoff game. Could have it at home, could be away, we just don't know yet. Girls and boys soccer were Lake Division Conference champs, as I noted in the community newsletter last week. And they're in the midst of their playoffs now. In fact, Jeff was telling me before the meeting that the boys will go to Harvey in the Harvey Park or
The
Painesville
rec
Park
area, rec on Saturday,
on Saturday. The girls play Thursday night here at home. The boys cross country are conference champs as well, and we have our district cross country meet here on Saturday. The weather isn't looking very nice,
No.
but here we are.
That's new.
Running, yeah. It is actually, well, not for the last several weeks, but
Right.
we've had some pretty good weather for districts in the past. Our final home football game is on Friday, and it's also the senior show for our band. Last report was Austin Broadwater was going to tour with fire Friday night at the game. Celebration today at NES at their staff meeting on their 4.5-star rating on the state report card. I'm gonna give a shout out. She'll not like me for it, but Sally Rogus bought ice cream treats and candy bars and then ice cream class parties for all the kids at the building. She's just phenomenal at her generosity, and that's her staff still. She cheers them on and looks at them every step of the way. And Doug had a lot of nice words to say to the staff. It was just a very nice celebration. And then they made a star wall for all the staff. And yeah, very nice. And as I already talked about, the fall play is next Thursday. And then 2 performances on Saturday because they want to support the boys in their playoff game. It is in the lecture hall. So that's why we're not at the lecture hall tonight like we originally thought we were going to be, because there's Christmas trees and set and stage all over, and they're in the midst of their tech week and pulling the show together. So it's a children, family-friendly show. On Saturday, Mrs. Kilpatrick said the students that'll be in costume are going to be taking pictures with, kids that come on the stage, and it's just going to be, she's really excited about this show. So I hope a lot of people come out and support the Chronicles of Narnia at the high school. On Friday this week, I have a meeting with Jack Whaley and the program director at Junior Achievement to look at how we can bring that program back into our schools. We did it for many years prior to the pandemic, then the pandemic sort of shut everything down. And so we're looking at ways that we can, reincorporate some of that work.
Excellent.
So
I've been bugging you for that.
I know you have.
I've been bugging you for a year and a half on that one.
9 weeks are completed. Grades are posted this week. We have conferences at the elementary this week and next. I would just advise parents to, check into Infinite Campus, find out what your students are doing, do it regularly. Don't wait till the end of the 9 weeks, because sometimes, things can be headed off at the pass if you look a little earlier. And I just want to review a couple of the key facts about our permanent improvement levy that's on the ballot on November 7th. Also know that the schools are closed for Election Day on November 7th. We have voting in this building and at South Elementary. The levy was first passed in May of 1988 and has been renewed every 5 years since then. While the voted millage has remained unchanged at 1.0 mils, the effective millage, the amount that's actually paid, has decreased. This levy, as of right now, will collect $198,000 a year, and cost the taxpayers $11 per year, which amounts to 92 cents per month on 100,000 in home market value. And it's important to remember that it pays for things, not people. In the past, it's been used for buses. We've used it for paving in the past, roof repairs, security equipment, building repairs, and then in computer equipment, instructional technology. Those are the big nuggets that we have used this levy for. So, like I said, this is the facts. It's up to the voters to decide what they want to do. And then finally, we have an update on our Each Child on Track grant. Mr. Brady and Mr. Bull will be attending a conference that's paid by the state of Ohio through this grant at Johns Hopkins University at the end of the month to talk about best practices and improving graduation rate. So I look forward to hearing what they have to say, and we'll probably have them present at a future board meeting. Yes.
No,
Mrs. Grimes?
So as part of the Safe Schools Act that went into effect, we've partnered with Crossroads. And so each of the building administrators, and I attended a couple of the meetings to get some programs that meet the guidelines for the Safe Schools Act. And so it'll be interesting to see, there's some really great programs that target certain behaviors and that Crossroads has, and all of it is state approved and what is supposed to be best practice. So we have a really great, I don't know how many more staff members Crossroads has that I have not met yet, because we do so much with them, and so there's no cost to us for that. The other thing, while it's not usually exciting, is we went to professional development for our Office of Exceptional Children, and they gave a presentation on all of what is compliant IEPs. One of our local school districts just went through an audit, which is an extremely lengthy thing, which I don't look forward to, but I brought our internal monitoring team, and I just think we have the best staff all the way around, because and especially my internal monitoring team. We met again today because we're going to do presentations, just because we've learned, from, what other people have done wrong. And so they had really great suggestions, and we also attended with our SST team, and we really felt strongly that our IEPs and the things and our practices and policies that we're doing are right. There were just a couple things. So I'm really proud of how hard our staff works and how diligent and that we're right, hopefully on track. Not going to ask for an audit, but it was a good thing.
I've been through several of those.
Yes,
They're
yes,
never
yes.
fun.
Let's leave those. Yes.
And they change it every time.
Right. Well, there are new rules in
Yeah.
progress,
Yeah.
so
All right.
things will change yet again. but
Yep.
We're rolling with it.
All right, ready for recommendations? All right. Under the employment motion this morning, we're asking you to approve the following resignations: to accept with regret the retirement resignation of Don Jones, North Elementary School custodian, effective January 1st, 2024, after 23 years of service to the district. To accept with regret the retirement resignation of Joni Niles, intervention specialist at North Elementary School, effective the end of the 2023-24 school year, after 16 years of service to the district. To accept the resignation of Elizabeth Mahalik, pre-K teacher, effective October 12th, 2023. To accept the resignation of Crystal Wesley, Madison High School chair advisor, winter, effective August 30th, 2023. To accept the resignation of Heather Stoddard, pre-K assistant, effective October 5th, 2023. We're asking you to rescind the following contract: to rescind the teacher supplemental contract of Kesley Green, North Elementary School Math Club co-advisor. And then we're asking you to enter into the following employment contracts: Kesley Green, North Elementary School Science Club advisor; Jackie Berry, North Elementary School Math Club co-advisor; and Gary Fortuna, Madison Middle School 8th grade wrestling coach; Catherine Otterman, Madison Middle School assistant track girls coach; Mike Martin, Madison High School assistant track girls coach; Becky Barton, Madison Middle School girls track coach; Art Zenkgraf, Madison Middle School boys track coach; Chris Kolarik, Madison Middle School boys track coach; Shane Hamilton, Madison High School assistant baseball coach; Taylor Miller, Madison High School freshman baseball coach; Alexis Collins, Madison High School assistant boys tennis coach. And then the following non-certificated persons under a 1-year limited personal service contract, beginning with Jake Shire, Madison High School assistant wrestling coach, and ending with Chip Sorber, Madison High School assistant boys track coach. And I just started reading the first list, which I normally don't do, so I thought I would finish and then just do it the way I normally do it. We're asking you to approve each of the following teachers as approved by the Educational Service Center of the Western River Reserve and or the Madison Local School District's Assistant Superintendent, and then under a 1-year limited substitute teacher contract for this school year: Michael Garden, and ending with Dana O'Leary. To employ Rebecca Heath as a building substitute at Madison Pre-K at a rate of $105 per day, effective September 27th. To employ Amanda Spradlin under a 1-year limited contract as a preschool assistant. To employ Holly Osborne as an educational assistant, cafeteria at Madison Middle School. To employ Olivia Duet as a nutrition services assistant manager at Madison High School. To employ Elena Solly as an educational assistant special needs at Madison High School. And that is the employment motion this evening.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I would like to just say with the custodial positions, we've got a couple that are leaving in January, so there's gonna be some dominoes. We are looking for a couple good custodial employees to fill in wherever those dominoes are. So email Dave Bull, call Dave Bull, but we need a couple custodians.
And as always, some bus drivers.
Yep, and that goes to CBS.
Yep. But
Okay.
if they reach out to me, I can put them in the right place and they will train you and earn your CDL Class B.
All right.
Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
and Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And then the next item is the resolution declaring Ribbon Week. The week of October 23rd to 31st is Red Ribbon Week, and we're asking people to commit to a, safe lifestyle, drug and alcohol-free lifestyle.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
and Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, and we have on the consent calendar tonight, several items. The first is to approve an independent art program for John Peter Dragus. Then we're asking you to approve an out-of-state trip for Madison High School basketball and softball teams to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, to attend the Ripken Experience, March 25th to 29, at a cost of $400 per player and no cost to the board. To approve an overnight trip for Madison High School's basketball to Christmas at the Point Holiday Tournament at the Cedar Point Complex on December 29th. No cost to the players, but no cost to the board either. To approve an overnight trip for Madison High School wrestlers, December 22nd to 23rd to the North Canton Tournament at no cost to players. To approve an overnight trip for Madison High School wrestlers, January 12th to 13th to the Maumee Bay Tournament at no cost to players. To approve Max Ungers as Madison High School boys basketball volunteer for the 2023-24 season, and to enter into a consultant service contract between the Madison local schools and Mary Ellen Besser to provide trauma behavioral specialist services at a cost not to exceed $20,000 for up to 40 days.
May I ask you, what is the trauma behavioral specialist? What do they work with?
They observe students that are experiencing some behavioral issues in the classrooms. They work with teachers to develop behavior improvement plans, give them tips for helping that student to be successful. And in coming out of COVID, we've had a great need, and she's worked for us for several years and then was going to scale it back, and she is scaling it back right now by about 10 days. Maybe 20 days, actually 20 days, but she may not even need all these days, but we wanted to make sure we had the contract just in case.
Since COVID, do you see worse than it was like before COVID?
Oh, we could, yes, well, yes, yeah, there's a
Yes,
lot of, there's just a lot of emotional trauma the kids have experienced.
So it's gonna take probably many years for this to get back to.
Yeah.
around.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And we have a lot of good people working on the problem. It just takes time. Takes time.
So we had a motion and a second, right?
No, I'm second. All right, we're just
Um,
curious what it was.
I didn't have a motion.
I moved.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
and Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
We do not have a need for executive session.
Nope.
We have a motion for adjournment.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
and Mr. Douglas.
Yes. Stand adjourned.